What's up, vapors? Today's not going to be a juice review video. We've got plenty of those coming. I'll talk about what's coming up here. But what today's going to be about are the FDA regulations. They've just hit about a week and a half ago, and I actually waited till I could read the full letter of the law, not even a law, letter of the decision. And I wanted to talk to you about what it means for us and some ways we can go about dealing with it. So basically, the law, the FDA ruling, is they're grabbing control. They're taking control of vaping. They're pulling it into their purview, saying that even if the liquid you're vaping have no nicotine in them, they're going to be considered a tobacco product. I vape zero nic. I mean, you can look at the juices I'm vaping. No nicotine. No nicotine. No nicotine. I got all the way off of nicotine. That's what I was aiming to do, is get off of nicotine, break that addiction. Yes, I still have an addiction to an action, which is vaping. And that's okay with me, though, because it doesn't stink up the house. It doesn't stink up my car. It doesn't hurt me. I don't feel bad doing it. It doesn't affect my taste. My food still tastes great. I don't have to deal with any of the tar and other harmful chemicals that are in cigarettes because they're not in vape juice. I mean, and one of these days I'm going to really kick into DIY juice, start making my own stuff, and then I'll know exactly what's in it. I'll know it's only VG, a little bit of PG, and some food flavoring. That's it. But for now, I'm vaping juices from companies that I trust, companies that I know that they've got a good reputation in the industry. I would guess that most of them are using premium products or premium ingredients to make the e-juice. And to classify something that has nothing tobacco related in it, the only thing that's tobacco related about vaping is that there's smoke. That's it. And that's all the FDA is doing, is blowing smoke. Now, the reality of it is this FDA ruling is not going to stand. There's no way for it to stand in a court of law. As soon as a lawyer gets in front of a judge and says, hey, there's no tobacco in here, it can't be considered a tobacco product, the verbiage of the FDA ruling is going to have to be changed. Period. End of story. I don't know what that means about the way they're going to regulate the liquid portion. I also, after reading through the FDA's ruling, after reading through it, they're not going to be able to get away with regulating the electronic devices. They may be able to regulate coils, but they're not going to be able to regulate canthal and stainless steel wire, etc., because of the fact that that's well outside of their purview. It's not an ingestible. It's nothing that you ingest in your body. The same way that head shops for decades have had glass pipes in there with a sticker on it that says for tobacco use only, like anyone smokes tobacco through a bong. Okay? So this is not going to stand. There's no chance for it to stand. It's just benign and ridiculous, and they overreached as much as they could. I mean, there's a lot of speculation on why they did it. I assume they probably did it mostly because Big Tobacco was asking them to. Philip Morris is losing $200 a month of my money, so they don't want me doing this. They'd much rather me sucking on a cigarette. And it's the same with everyone else out there. Now, there's an image problem in vaping right now. We have an image problem, and it's not the end of the world. Images are changing. What's acceptable in culture changes over time. However, if you walk into a vape shop, and realistically 3 years ago, every vape shop I'd ever been in was this dingy, kind of divey place. And, nowadays they're more well lit and well stocked and professional looking establishments, and that's good for vaping. And the more it continues to go that way, the better that is for vaping. However, there's a stigma there with the people who work at vape shops. They tend to be counterculture. They tend to be tattooed, have piercings, gauged ears, all that stuff. And I don't mind those people. I don't mind. I've got friends that are those people, and that's cool. Okay, if that's what you want to do, if you still can have the life you want while doing that, then go for it. If you're not limiting yourself in a way that makes it to where society has to support you, more power to you. The only problem is when those people out in the front leading these arguments. When you have mod manufacturers making stuff that says, FDA on it, or you have, I saw one posted on Facebook that had a Calvin peeing on the FDA logo. That stuff doesn't help us. That stuff is just it's great for a 15-year-old. We're not all 15, okay? And when we want to deal with serious issues, we need to deal with them in a serious way. And the way we can deal with serious issues is to write your senator, write your congressman, be proactive, get in touch with them, write them an actual letter. Don't do one of these form send-offs that is being popularized across the internet. Actually sit down and write it. And it doesn't take but a minute. I've emailed both Senator Hatch, who's my senator, and my representative, because I know that these people are the ones that need to actually get involved in the legislative process. The FDA is overstepped because it's doing something that the FDA didn't have a reason to be doing. They didn't have the authority really to do, except for given to them by Congress. So Congress, if they step in, they are the way to regulate the FDA. Okay. Now, next thing, there are some big high-profile lawsuits that are getting started. And one of them has been started by a juice manufacturer. Another one is coming out of from some of the device manufacturers. There are also going to be class action lawsuits that are going to be coming up here shortly that are going to be started by vapors, number one. The number two is going to be started by manufacturers. And those are going to be the big ones. The class action lawsuits are going to be the big ones. But these lawsuits take literally millions of dollars. Literally millions of dollars. So step up. Do it with your pocketbook, okay? I've got a couple of things. Excuse me. I've got a couple of things that I'm going to be doing to help out with these lawsuits and help out CASA. And they're pretty easy to do, okay? Number one thing I'm going to do. Every penny of revenue from this YouTube channel is going to get donated to either CASA or one of the class action lawsuits, maybe spread across a couple. I don't know exactly because I haven't seen enough development on what's going on there to judge exactly which ones are worth supporting, what their arguments are going to be, which angle they're going to be suing the FDA from. So as that develops, we'll be making that determination. Number two is I'm going to start doing raffles. I'm going to raffle off some things, and they're going to be some pretty cool things, actually. You're going to be surprised. And I'm going to be putting my own money in to buy these things, to raffle them off, just to donate to CASA and the attorneys that are fighting the FDA on these battles. That's all I can do right now. I'm also going to be trying to see if I can afford to pull more money out of my budget to help support some of these lawsuits because it's important. So I hope you'll continue to support this channel, to watch my videos. That's how this channel makes money. And like I said, every penny that this channel makes will be directly supporting CASA and supporting the ongoing litigation against the FDA. As always, stay off the stinkies, people.